Let me read you a story. Gunk remembers. For a long while Gunk had not been around. She was out having adventures. When she showed up again, she was more than happy to trade chocolate cookies for tales of where she had been. This morning, just like the days before, Gunk came into the kitchen to tell more stories and eat more cookies. She jumped up on the table and looked at me with some concern. "Why are you crying?" she asked. I told her that I'd just received the news that a dear friend of mine had died. "But why are you crying?" she asked again. "You don't cry when other things die, like this cookie," she said as she shoved the whole cookie into her mouth. "Or when that hedgehog was run over by the nice man's blue van," she continued, sounding muffled with her mouth full. I tried to explain it to her, but Gunk just couldn't grasp the difference between the death of a cookie, the death of an animal, and the death of a dear friend. To her, they all appeared to be sort of the same, and none merited mourning somehow. I asked her if she had ever lost someone she loved. I had to explain that to her too, as she thought I was asking her if she had ever misplaced someone she loved. After the confusion was cleared up, she said, "Of course people I love have died. The last one was my gran, seeing as you don't count the hedgehog. But I'd rather remember how Gran lived than how she died. Her death was boring. She just sort of went. But her life, it was amazing. I have loads more memories of that." She looked at me, wrinkling her brow. "She may be dead," Gunk said thoughtfully, "but that doesn't mean she's gone. Don't you remember all sorts of things about your friend?" I had to admit that I did. Gunk asked me to tell her. When I did, she kept asking for more. And by the time I had to get up and turn on the lights in the kitchen because it was getting dark outside, I still felt a bit sad. But most of all, I felt glad for all the fond memories I had and all the adventures we'd shared, even if we wouldn't be able to have new adventures anymore. Gunk took my moment of reflection as a sign that we were done for the day. As she got up to leave, I asked her if she would be back in the morning. There were still loads of adventures she had to tell me about. She nodded solemnly as confirmation that she, indeed, would be back. Just before jumping off the table and heading for the cat flap, she told me, "Well, just because you did all the story talking today, don't think that you get all the chocolate cookies." And with that, she was gone. For Virginia, who had such an enthusiasm for life and who loved Gunk's stories so much.